Is small, but there's a lot of potential for aggressive expansion.
5 minutes was too long for me to wait to start the show. Well, actually, this is unscheduled. So I guess I could have started it whenever I wanted. Hey, Bill Moss here. I'm drawing at my table. And I'm glad that you're hanging out for a few minutes. Because I've got some sketching to do tonight. Which is cool, is what I like to do. The order of operations for tonight is me drawing Savage Bekka a whole bunch of times. Because we just had a Kickstarter. We're finally, Kat and I are finally delivering on our Kickstarter for Entity Comics Parody Division. So, pretty happy about that. Let me see if I put this all. There we go. Just checking my little sound levels. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Chet's in the room. Yeah, you know what? I thought that music was too loud. Yep. It's way louder than the normal amount of loud. There we go. Yeah, this isn't me doing a concert. Omni, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us. Glad you're doing good. Chet says it was drowning me out. Yeah, I had the music on some crazy level. StreamYard kind of leaves it at this loud level if you don't purposely turn it down. SDA in the house. How you doing, dude? Glad you're hanging out. Super cool. Chet says, there you go. All right, that's much better. Much better. Let's see. Omni says, Bill, do you ever draw digitally? Yes, absolutely. In fact, well, you know what? I got the wrong webcam to show you. But yeah, I do draw digitally, and I'll set up my other webcam. I actually have to do, instead of using the webcam that I've got set up right now, I actually have to use my phone as my webcam in order to show you how I draw digitally, because it doesn't catch the light quite right. It kind of washes it out completely. And I haven't gotten quite the hang of doing the old, like the screen share thing just yet. Just something I haven't figured out how to do yet. I know it's not hard. But I actually like people seeing, when I do a live stream that shows me digitally drawing, I like people to actually see like how I'm holding the stylus and how I'm working, So, Rich, what's up, dude? Yep, once again, not invited. Hey, man, you can't hold it against me. I literally decided to do this 10 minutes ago. I was like, all right, look, I can actually be productive and get some work done, or I could turn around and play Horizon Zero Dawn again. So I decided to try and be productive. Hope you're doing good, dude. Yeah. Jonathan, what's year? I said, what's year? Because I was reading what you wrote at the same time that I was trying to say what's up. I was talking and thinking at the same time. Jonathan, what is up, man? This is the year of the mouse. Rich. It's all good, man. It's like, hopefully, maybe like closer to the weekend, I can do a stream where we can hang out together. You know how it is when you just want to I just wanted to draw for a minute, so. I love you, man. Yeah, no auctions tonight. No extra bits. No promoting a Kickstarter. Nothing, man. Just me, some brown sheets of paper, and this here color pencil. So SDA is doing good. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. The Richness Art Channel. Yep. Once again, not. Oh man, it's like you're doubling up on me. Mr. Giovanni, how you doing? How you doing, man? It's let's see. I don't know. LOL. It will pay off one day, I'm sure. Oh, dude. Rich, you're invisible. Nah, Rich is not invisible. Actually, I'm super happy that that Rich is back in jolly old England. Back home. Quite the adventure with this whole cross the Atlantic adventure that you had to have, dude. Omni says, I haven't used my XP pen tab in a while, and I got to get used to it all over again. You know, I've got my my Cintiq that used to be the holy grail for me, right? Of tools to use and tools to aspire to get. And I finally was able to afford it, and I got a Cintiq, and I did use it for a few years. But the iPad caught up with me, man. It's like I've been doing all the heavy lifting for coloring and stuff. I've actually been using Procreate instead of Photoshop, which is usually my go-to. Like I'm not sure, and Cat Mouse, my daughter Cat Mouse, she's trying to convince me to go to Clip Studio instead of Photoshop. So I don't know if the days of Photoshop are numbered or what. Not sure how long Photoshop is going to stay in my life, but I do so many other things with Photoshop that don't. Have nothing to do with coloring and drawing and things. It's like there's color correction, there's lettering, saving and sizing all of my files, and I know where all the tools are. It's just such a hassle to learn a whole new thing, and I'm sure the learning curve for Clip Studio isn't too bad. I'm sure most of the tools are in familiar places for the most part. I just haven't taken that plunge yet. SDA. Let's see. Jonathan says Club Corrupt, Nira X, Dark Seas, Zen Bounty Wars. We're eating good this year. Oh man, I'm glad you feel that way, dude. Awesome. Yeah, I got a little checklist on my webpage for things for when things are going to be shipping and when things are coming in. Like right now, the reason I'm doing these sketches right here is because we're shipping Entity Comics Parody Division right now. So super happy. I realize that this Kickstarter is running very late. This is actually the very first Kickstarter that Cat Mouse and myself did together just on our own. So there's between the learning curve, and honestly, she was in the hospital for quite a bit last year. She's doing fine right now, by the way, so don't feel weird or anything. She's doing great, but it's the whole idea of catching up. So we got so far behind on everything. So super happy. We got these back from the printer, and I made sure, and plus they come with the little nappy time print that Kat and I both worked on together, and it was our very first Kickstarter. So these sketches of Savage Bekka, and I have to do 31 of these sketches, and then I will bag and board them and include them with the people that ordered sketches. Kat is also doing 31 sketches of her character Willow, which is this little cute little character right up here. This little cat character, little wizard. Got to get me an XP pen too. Yeah, man, this has been my go-to for everything now, man. Freaking Apple Pencil. Who'd have thought? I didn't think the iPad was going to be good enough to do real work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, actual finished stuff. But it actually caught up to me. It actually caught up, and it's been doing really great. All right, so we got this Savage Bekka. I wanted to let it dry for just a second because I use whiteout for the little border here. Let's see. Omni says Procreate and Clip Studio are great. Graham Nolan makes his comic on iPad using Procreate. Yeah, I mean, lots of people are. I mean, they're doing like crazy, phenomenal stuff just on their iPad, dude. It's like it's crazy. Like some stuff just really looks like oil paintings or like full-on digital. I mean, they're doing like full-on professional work on the old iPad. Who would have thought? I thought that if I didn't have a desktop with if I didn't have a desktop with full-on Photoshop and a Cintiq, that it wouldn't be, you know, professional looking work. There you go. So this is how all the Savage Bekka sketches are actually being bagged and boarded. Ugh. Yeah, I know my light turns off automatically when this stupid light. I really like this light. I got this light from Walmart, this little desk light. But when I stand up to get out of the way, for some reason it's got a feature that it turns off automatically. But it's a really cool light though. It's like one of these little LED light, but it sits on the desk right above the artwork, like just right. So this is what some of the other sketches are looking like, right? So little by little, like each one's going to be very, very different from the other. But that's cool. That's what it's all about. I don't know how to cookie cutter drawings. See, Jonathan says, let's see, I missed that one. Will you or Don Chin have some up on eBay or elsewhere? I thought that I ordered enough copies from this printing to have a lot left over, but I do have to order some more for overstock purposes. I do have to order some more. So I'm not going to have any on my online store just yet. So I'm waiting for the rest of my print run to arrive from the printer. What I have at the studio right now is actually like just enough to fill the orders, and I think we shipped 70% or 75% of everybody's orders so far. So everybody's, like, the first orders that we shipped out were just all the ones that didn't have sketches, so those were a little easier to put together because we had all the materials, the stickers, and the prints, all that good stuff. So now we're doing the sketches so we could fill in the last, 20-30% of the orders. As far as overstock though, yeah, I'm not going to have any until a little bit later, probably closer to the summertime, to have like the complete print run that I was hoping to have in the first place. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. Kevin, what's up, dude? What have you missed? Well, we started drawing. We're drawing Savage Bekka tonight. We're drawing a whole lot of Savage Bekka. That's what I'm kind of concentrating on and kind of putting my blinders on for tonight. And it's it's unscheduled. I wasn't really even planning on having a live stream tonight. But I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just hop online. I'll hang out with you guys if you guys would like to watch me sketch, and just kind of a little unscheduled. We just happen to run into each other, kind of thing. Hey, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate that, man. Chet says you're missing everything, Kev. Everything. Oh no, boobs are coming. Boobs are coming. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. That's savage. Well, Hey, he's not late. I'm actually yeah. This is our impromptu. All right, we'll start. We'll start a brand new one here. I only got 30 more of these to go. I don't know how many I'm going to draw during this stream, but we'll hang out for a few minutes and we'll see how things go. We got some music in the background. We got some sketching going on, and this is us for tonight. It's a Savage Bekka evening. Chet says all of them. Draw all of them. Yeah, we'll see how far we get. Sometimes I gotta give my joints aren't what they used to be. I gotta give them a rest after a while. We'll see what happens. I do really like doing these sketches on the toned paper. Always got to remember that Savage Bekka has freckles. I think she's the only regular character that I draw that has freckles. Let's see. Kevin says, wow, looking at the Kickstarter for this, as if I couldn't remember my pledge, the estimated delivery was October 2022. Yeah, just a little bit behind. But yeah, Kat was in the hospital and she ended up having to get some abdominal surgery. There were some things going on that really threw off the whole schedule. So I'm very, very happy that we're back at the table, back working. Get back to making our plans, make our evil plans. And Savage Bekka is just, she's sexy and she's fun. You know, it's like nice way to spend the evening sketching Bekka. Kevin says, let's see, I understand family comes first. I was just a little surprised how quickly time has passed. Yeah, it really, for sure. Because when we started shipping the books, it's actually kind of shocking how much time passed. And I had some friends that were making me feel better. They're being supportive. They're reminding me about there's some other Kickstarters out there that are doing that are much more successful, it's like as far as, how much money they're bringing in and stuff. And much later on their delivery times. Not that's not a justification for anything. So my goal is to because we learned a lot about, even though, things happen and that are out of your control and stuff like that, we learned a lot about how to, time management and making sure that we kind of do things to, so even if things do happen, we don't get caught like behind the eight ball, So I think we'll be much better prepared with our other campaigns that are coming up, and we do have some like really cool ideas coming up. Really, I'm really excited to share those when I can. But right now they're mostly top secret. Jonathan says Liefeld holds the record, I think. I have heard that. Yeah, there's let's see, it took a decade for him to send me any brigade books, and it was a fraction of what I had pledges for. Oh man, it's a shame, man, because you really look forward to getting the books, and if there's not something going on, something out of his control or something like that, it's just running late for the sake of running late. I mean, which is what I've been, just hearing from fans and from people in general. That's disappointing because, you're looking forward to getting those, Still gotta have a work ethic, even though we're producing art and producing things that are fun. Still gotta think about people and make sure you try your best to deliver. Of course, I'm saying this knowing that I'm delivering late myself on a campaign. But we're doing our best, man. I'm very, very lucky. I'm surrounded by very patient and supportive people. You guys have been super cool. And plus, I'm telling you what's going on every step of the way, too. So. Had to turn off the mic there for a second. I started coughing. A little bit of water. All right. Let's see. Kevin says, let's see. I have a commission I'm waiting on from 2005-ish. Should I just give up on waiting? Oh, man, that's been a long time. And I've been late myself on all kinds of stuff like that, too. So, I don't know. I never want people to give up faith. People have given me way more patience than I myself deserve. So I always hope that people will come through, Let's see. Jonathan says, at Kevin, if it was with Liefeld, yes, he stole your money and will avoid and block you on social media if you bring it up. Speaking from experience. See, that's another story. That's another actually grouping of stories that I've been hearing. Is that when the question does come up of, hey, where is my artwork? Like the proper response is not to block the person. That's not how you keep people's trust. It's bad enough when you're late with things. Because I'm there right now. It's like I'm late with a lot of commissions. I'm late with delivering the Kickstarters, and the fact that everybody's still been cool with me and still been nice and supportive and, you know, keeping me with enough pencil and paper to keep going, you know, but I have to be transparent. I have to tell people what's going on. I have to tell people that I'm working on them. I have to tell people what actually happened to make me late in the first place. You know, so you gotta be cool with people if you want people to be cool with you. But yeah, the wrong answer would be to block anybody who asks a question. It's not the way to go. I might be old-fashioned. SDA says, I'm back. I was getting some dinner. Okay, cool, man. Cool, man. We're going to be here for a while, so I'm glad you're here with us, man. You know that's right. Kevin says, not Liefeld. Let's see. I want someone that could draw feet doing art for me. You guys have been supporting me, so I could get better at my feet. Kevin says, I have faith in you, Bill. You will come through. Yeah, man. I'm surrounded by good people, man. You guys are you're good people. Jonathan says that 10 years I would have been fine with if I got what I paid for. Yeah, and just a little bit of communication. A little bit of communication. Just let people know that you're working on it. It's like, art is not, and things come up that slow you down. It's like, but yeah, I totally agree. I've paid for artwork also, and it's taken like a super long time, and I've just been happy, when as long as I get it at some point, and as long as I know that it's on the list and that it's on the way, like I'm fine. It's like, it doesn't matter how many times somebody emails me to, ask for an update or something like that. I can't treat anybody like that's bothering me that they're asking for an update. It's like, just be honest and say like, oh, it's like it's still going to be some time, or it's going to be down the road a ways. There's this many people ahead of you, or we got certain projects we have to finish first, or something like that. But that's the one thing about all the other stories that you're mentioning. That's the part that bothers me, is that when somebody did ask a question, they got blocked, and I don't know. You can't. How do you deal with that? That's not a good way to treat the people that are actually supporting you and making your art possible in the first place. It's not a good way to go. Jonathan says, let's see, the transparency goes a long, long way, for sure. I know it can be humbling, but in the long run, people respect the respect that you show them by being honest. Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's like I don't understand how anybody who does this for a living can get too much of a chip on their shoulder. We're drawing pictures, man. We're doing artwork, and if it wasn't for fans and collectors actually buying the artwork and supporting, it's like we wouldn't be able to do this in the first place, you know. So I don't understand. It's humbling because, like, you know, you promised it. You want to get it done in a reasonable amount of time, and you know it's running late. So in that sense, yeah, it's humbling because you have to kind of like admit that, you know, hey, this is taking longer than I planned, but I want to give you my best work. I don't want to just rush through it and give you something crappy when you're paying me good money to do it. So it is humbling in that sense, but I think the mutual respect is so much. It's worth it to treat people like people, you know. It's like we should always be cool to each other. Let's see. Kevin says, surrounded with people that secretly have whips a cracking. It's like, where the hell's my artwork? I'm just here for the boobs. Bill draws some of the best racks in comics. In my opinion, you have a good opinion, sir. I wholeheartly approve of your opinion. This is good. I've been working a lot of years to draw them nice. So I'm just trying to bring happiness to the people, man. Chet says, update. Yeah, I need to. Well, that's why I started updating the website a little bit better, so that at a glance on the first page, people see what's going on with different projects. So I'm getting a little bit better with those things, and we do have some other projects that I haven't really announced that some of our inner circle knows about because we're working on them together. So there's a loot box card set. There is a 30th anniversary Nira X special issue that we're working on. It's taking longer than I was planning. So yeah, I still wanted to celebrate her 30th anniversary, even though it's probably going to be released on her 31st. There we go. Got another piece for the stack. We'll start up a new one. Ken, what's up, dude? Good evening, good sir. That's right. This is the party, man. This is the party. Here we are. There you go. Kevin has proved it. Kevin has proved that the party is here. Ken says, we talking about Liefeld? Yeah, he's a punk. But tell us how you really feel. Did you see the new Deadpool trailer? There's a scene in there with a pretty awesome inside joke. Something along these lines. As Kevin says, are boobs better than boobs? Yeah, that might be up for debate. Might have to take a vote on that one. Ken says, update, like Club Corrupt requests for March. Yeah, that's well, you know what? Fulfilling the book this past 2 weeks, has been soaking up a lot of the time. So yeah, I do have to catch up on the requests line for our Club Corrupt. Hey, by the way, I don't know if everybody knows about them. Let me look at my little banners thing here, and I'll tell you where this is at. We got a club. We got a special club where I draw all of my adult stuff and my nudie stuff. It's where my boobs are. It's a Patreon page. It's called Club Corrupt. And the first issue of Club Corrupt is actually, we just got it back from the printer. So we're going to start fulfilling that book. That's our very first book. It's issue 1 for that. And it's going to be fulfilling next month, hopefully just as the next month rolls in. So hopefully things will be on a faster little scale here. But I do something. I do something on. Here we go. Let me show you here. I do something on the Club Corrupt page called requests. Okay, so if you're an active member, I put up a post that's specifically for the requests, and then everybody kind of like throws some ideas in there, and then I just try to get to as many ideas as I can, so that way you guys can download high res versions. It might be sketches. I might do some stuff and actually ink it and color it and stuff, if depending on how much time I have. And then the idea is that every single month we start from scratch and we get a new little group of requests up on the page, so that way we can keep it going and keep it fresh. So, and like everything else, I am running behind on it. So, thankfully, thanks for being patient with me, man. So, but it's coming up again. It's coming up again. Kevin says released on her 31st. Yeah, the one to grow on. I know, it's like, and I'm going to release her 30th anniversary special, and it's just like immediately release her 40th. Hopefully it won't be that late. Let's see here. The Liefeld sign. Yeah, dude, on the store sign that's behind them when they're coming in the frame. Yeah. Just feet. Dude, that joke is like a deep cut, right? I know, it's almost May. I know. I'm running late. Wait, the club is where your boobs are. Man boobs. Ew. No, I keep my man boobs in secret. I only draw the good ones for the club. Club Corrupt book had a surprise Savage Bekka nude. Was not expecting that. That's right. Yeah, the issue of Club Corrupt that we released, it's got a nude version of this cover. And of course, our Entity Comics imprint is general audience. This is about as you have to tastefully cover up things. It's general audience imprint. But Club Corrupt, though, you can get away with murder. Get away with murder, Club Corrupt. Bill, you know better than suggesting that Nira will ever reach 40. Yeah, she's immortal, dude. She's immortal. It's just a number at that point. The 30 is just for me. The 12th annual 29th birthday. Yes. Thank you for making the math sound better. That way it doesn't feel like I'm so late. All right, let's start a new Savage Bekka. Let's see how this one comes out. See how we'll make her look here. Have to try and change, at least change her facial expressions, because I definitely want her wearing the same signature outfit every time. Indeed. 12th of the 29th. She sounds like Jack Benny. No violin for her. No violin for her. I gotta make sure I never forget to put her freckles. She's my one character that's got freckles. Here we go. We'll change up her torso pose a little bit. Be kind of nice. Hey, thanks, Ken. Yeah, I had to look around a little bit. I didn't have time to sit with a keyboard and write my own, so I'm glad I found a little bit. Something is better than the 3 other songs we had forever. Jonathan says, Bill, who is your favorite Kirby character? Gosh, I don't know, man. That's actually a good question. You kind of caught me off guard because my brain is so wrapped up in what pose to stick Savage Bekka in. I'm not really thinking about much anything else. Tell you what, since my brain is being stretched out, why don't you guys tell me what your favorite Kirby characters are, and then I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you if I agree with you. No, that's the wrong Kirby. That is the totally wrong Kirby. I almost hate the name drop with those guys just because they were so big. I mean, he contributed like freaking everything to comics, you know. Like I don't think I'll ever reach that level of contribution to the medium, you know. Yeah, the thing is good. Yeah, this is true. Let's see, he was a tragic hero before comics really got into that. Yeah. No, not Bruno Kirby. Yeah, Kirby was inventing in comics for like half a century at least. Yeah, yeah, and he invented half of comics. My gosh, yeah, it's like the thing I see. The thing that lasts more with me about Kirby is just that, you know, other than the fact that he freaking gave us all that, you know, is his style, the way, just such a bombastic, like such a bold style. You know, it's so, I mean, it's so signature. It's so him. Now, when I started getting into comics, you know, even Kirby's like the man, right? I mean, it's, come on. But even so, he's not the artist that really influenced or made me want to draw like sequential stories. I always saw him as I don't know, like not an urban legend, but he's kind of like Elvis to me, where it's just like, yeah, he's the king, he's the guy. But even so, it's like I wasn't necessarily listening to Elvis, you know what I mean? Like when I first started when I was a kid getting into comics, I was really getting into like probably like Romita, Spider-Man and stuff like that. I was really getting into like Crack Magazine, because as a kid, there was an artist named John Severin, and he drew like my favorite spoofs, because he was spoofing TV shows that I was watching at the time, so he kind of hooked me with that. Kind of made me a fan, because he was spoofing like stuff that I was watching, you know, like Knight Rider and Star Wars and Greatest American Hero, A-Team, all that stuff. So it's like he had a handle on what I was watching on TV. So he got my attention. And then when I was getting into comics, like actually like I was kind of collecting a little bit more, actually collecting. And actually getting into my first jobs drawing comics for people, for companies. And that's right when Image came out. And then the guys that were really influencing me the most at that time was actually, you know, like the Brat Pack from Image Comics. You know, it's like, you know, Todd McFarlane and Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee. You know, those were the guys that were really influencing what I wanted to do. Let's see. He invented more than Stan Lee would give him credit for. Yeah, there's some. I was surprised that there was back and forth about that. Everything wasn't as cut and dry as far as like who did what back then. Kirby Law. Jonathan says, let's see, I'm working on a YouTube documentary about his creator-owned stuff at Pacific, Captain Victory, Silver Star, and all of the other stuff people have done with his creator-owned concepts. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I would definitely like to watch that, because I'm horrible at art history. That's why I like to sit in my corner and draw, but I'm not. I need to be a lot more aware of what's around me. Ken says, Great American Hero is so underrated. Dude, I love that show. That was a great show. It's a little cringy now. I've tried to sit through entire episodes, and I'll fast forward through like the cringy parts, but yeah, I mean, it's like there's a part of me that always loves that show. No one talks about Kirby's creator-owned stuff, but it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would actually like to know more about it. Actually, it's like, you're talking about that you're putting together a thing for it. Yeah, I would listen to it or read it. Yeah, I was reading their comics and Bill Mouse parodies of their comics. See, that's how you know that I was an easy fit for Parody Press when we founded Parody Press back in the '90s. I mean, that was like that was kind of like a match made in heaven, or I should say San Diego, because that's where I met Don Chin. Don Chin was the writer on the very first book that I ever worked on. I worked on a book called X-Farce. It was a parody of X-Force, obviously, and Don Chin just happened to be the writer of that book. So the fact that he wanted to start doing his own parodies, and so yeah, we co-founded Parody Press together and worked on it. We did that for almost 10 years. I mean, like 10 years of like monthly on the shelf shipping out worldwide, self-publishing like constantly, like every single month. That was quite a ride. The 90s were quite a ride. Kevin says, let's say you missed an opening there, Ken. Believe it or not, The Greatest American Hero is so underrated. Let's see. Jonathan says, I haven't tried watching it as an adult, but I loved it as a kid. If you know what, if you really loved it as a kid, I would almost tell you to kind of not watch it as an adult. Watch like YouTube clips of it or something like that. Because it's so era specific. It's really cringy. Some of it is really cringy. Like I can't sit through an episode of Knight Rider, and I love Knight Rider, but it's like, dude, it's hard to sit through now. It's hard to sit through. It's just cringy. I mean, it's just like some of the writing and some of it's just cringy. It's just a little bit cringy. Mighty Geek, hey, how you doing, dude? Bill, we're all bad at art history because we viewed it as unnecessary. You know what? And it's even when I went to school, I never took art class until I got to college. Like I was the kid that was always drawing when I wasn't supposed to. Okay, so I was getting in trouble for drawing. But when I got to college, I went to just a little community college that we have here locally. That's what I did. I got like an associate's from there. And there was even things there that I wish they hadn't shortchanged me on. Like our art history teacher made it like super easy for us to pass our classes. There was just a real easy, just memorize these 5 things a week, and then don't worry about it. You won't have to remember it again. And I'm just like, I really wish that I actually retained a lot of that knowledge. It's like, and then the same with comic book history. It's just, I wish that I actually had a much, much better handle on it. My cousin Keith is my source of knowledge when it comes to comic books. Actual, real, historical, actual knowledge of where, like I defer to him. And he's actually the one that little by little, I'll keep on asking him questions, and I'll learn more about comic book history from him because he's got a really good handle on it. But yeah, I wish I retained. I'm built for pictures. I'm not really built for classical studies. So I got to be surrounded by it all the time so I could retain it better. Kevin says, so is Bill our own Weird Al of comic parodies? Yes, I am. I am your Weird Al. I'm Weird Bill. I will gladly accept that fate. That is fine. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Let's see. I'm autistic about American comic history. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And the time that it was actually making me angry about, like, especially like new younger generations coming up later, after me. First of all, like, I'm already embarrassed that I don't know as much as I should about art history in general, comic book history in general. But I was feeling really bad about, like, my daughter's generation. A Cat is 26 now, so she's like that next generation coming up. And a lot of people when I go to comic book conventions and I see an artist that I know had, you know, they're classic. These guys have been working in the industry for like 40 years, 50 years, some of them. And they should have a line out the door, you know, because of their contributions and the characters they've worked on, and people are walking past them and they don't know who they are. And I just found that my jaw just hit the floor, you know, just seeing things like that happen. It's crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, and then I go to another show and it just happens to be a different group of people where more people were actually a lot more aware of who these people were. And they, you know, they do have lines out the door. But there's some shows where, you know, it's like, you know, people need to be told. People need to be, it's like, oh, this is a guy that did this, this, and this. You know, it's like, this is, you know, you'd want to have that signature right there. That's a really a good person to meet. So much experience and history, you know. Pops, what's going on, dude? I'm glad you popped in. I said popped in. Mighty Geek Studios says, let's see, my favorite parodies was a comic called Denim and Spider Babe. I wish I could steal that title. I'm not sure. I think I remember Denim. I think I remember Denim. I think I remember Denim. I don't remember Denim and Spider Babe like that as a book together, but I think I remember Denim. That was hilarious. Let's see. Pop says, just a reminder, all that good stuff is going up for auction Saturday starting at noon. Okay, Pops has got some of my artwork. It's going up for auction on Saturday at noon. You want to check out the Comics Madness Comic Network and look for Pops Van Zant so you can see what he's got up there for auction. Let's see. Kevin says, give me Knight Rider 20 more years and then you'll be watching it eagerly. Oh, give Knight Rider 20 more years and then you'll be watching it eagerly. Dude, it's been a long time. Did you watch those reboots? Those Knight Rider reboots? They were so bad. Oh, they were the worst. It was the most dishonorable thing they could have done. They had a car that was like a red car that was supposed to be like the next, you know, upgraded Knight Rider, and it was just the worst. And it was cringy. It was like, you know, it had that 80s kind of writing. Wasn't good. It was bad news. And then they had the other Knight Rider reboot that had like a Ford Mustang. Like, what? Like, this is not an ad for your dealership. Mighty Geek says art history professors were notorious for that because they knew that we were more interested in drawing. Yeah, you know, it's true. In the moment, I fully agreed with them doing that to us. You know, it's just like, hey, you know, just memorize this. You're never going to use it again. They figure if you're really in love with history that, you know, you'll go out of your way to keep that knowledge for yourself. But, you know, a lot of times we're too young to make good decisions for ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's like, I took a fine art class and everybody was oil painting and I should have, I mean, it's my fault because I pushed it. But I didn't want to learn how to oil paint. So my solution, I was airbrushing. I like acrylic, mixed media, and I like airbrushing. But, you know, it's something I already know how to do. So I'd never learned how to oil paint because the teacher and some of the other students found it very interesting that I was in class with an airbrush. And they were very interested in seeing how it worked and all this good stuff. So they let me get away with that. And I got my grade based on the work that I did with my airbrush instead of learning how to oil paint. And now I find myself like behind, you know, the 8 ball because like I don't know how to oil paint. And I wish I did. You know what I mean? It's I wish I actually had done what I was supposed to do, even though at the time I didn't want to do it. You know, it's like this, you know, years later. Ken says, yeah, Knight Rider is era specific, but remember when they remade it and it was an abortion? Yes, yeah, okay, we're on the same page when it comes to that. Not everything should be modernized. Keep it cringy, people. Yeah, it's true, man. It's like, for what Kit could do at the time, in a world where there was no other technology like that, it kind of worked. It works in an 80s world. Just like there's a lot of superheroes that probably exist a lot better in a 1950s world than in a 2024 world. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes you just can't modernize it right. And if you have to change it so much in order for it to work, then you may as well come up with a whole new character. May as well just do a whole new thing instead of trying to shoehorn something where it doesn't fit. Let's see. Kevin's asking which remake. They've tried remaking Knight Rider time and again. I know, and they've all sucked. Even the Greatest American Hero had a reboot where they tried to make this chick the Greatest American Hero, and I saw the ad for it. And don't get me wrong, I was on board for this show. I was like, oh, the Greatest American Hero is going to be this hot chick. Awesome. I am so on board. It's like, but it was just a bad show. The writing was like, oh, what am I watching? It's like, I was really hoping it was going to be cool, because that would have been, tailor-made for me at that point. Because like, I've seen all the Ralph Hinckley stories that I could possibly see. So seeing a new person having the Greatest American Hero's, costume, having his powers and stuff like that with completely different stories, I thought would have been super cool. But the show did not deliver. Let's see. I really want to document indie comics history. It is largely forgotten, and I don't want that to be the case when there are so many amazing comics and stories about their creation out there. Dude, start with the 90s. That's when everybody really started. I mean, as far as I know, it's like, I'm sure there were indie comics since day one. Everybody likes to draw their own books, But yeah, that would be amazing to actually have some kind of documentary about that. Have it, so people can remember. Kevin says not everything should be remade, but sometimes it's done right. The reimagined Battlestar Galactica is a case I will refer to. I'll stand behind you on that one. I enjoyed the new Battlestar Galactica. It was actually an upgrade to the original. I love the original. That was one of my childhood shows right there. And the way that they did the new one, there was only like 2 or 3 little things that I complained about. And honestly, if that's the only thing I had to complain about, then they succeeded. They succeeded, right? So, so yeah, Battlestar Galactica was good stuff. Was good stuff. I was a little confused with Kara being, like, they tried too hard to make it mysterious for some things, with Starbuck, like dying but not dying. Is she an angel? Is she, this? Is she that? So, let's see. Kevin says the red car you're talking about, was that Viper? No, the red car was a Knight Rider. It was supposed to be like a brand new Knight Rider, and it was like some concept car. I think they might have. I don't know if they used a concept car that was supposed to be used for something else, or if they actually made that car just for the show. But it was a horrible car, and it had tiny tires, which as a kid, like, you can't have a hot rod kind of car with little tiny tires, man. But I do remember Viper, though. Viper actually was kind of cool at the time, because the things that it could do were like things you hadn't seen before. That's the thing about those 80s shows. They succeeded because they came up with something that you never saw before. It wasn't retreading anything. A talking car, that was the first time you ever saw a freaking talking car. And Viper was the first time I ever saw a car that had missile launchers and could kind of transform, like into different shapes and stuff. And they had that drone. So that's, you got to hand it to the 80s for going out of their way to give you things that nobody had seen before. And I know, and I realize that's hard to do, especially nowadays when we've seen so much. I've seen so much, I can't unsee it. But yeah, it's hard to come up with a concept that's something that people generally haven't seen before. And special effects are are to the point where, you know, nothing really surprises you, you know, so you can't really depend on the special effects to like surprise you or to wow you in such a way that, you know, you're willing to bypass the story if the story's not so good, you know, like just to stick with it because the special effects are so cool. Like special effects can do anything now, so it's like you're not, it has to be a good story, you know, it's like you have to depend on a good story now because you expect the special effects to be good. Now if the special effects are bad, you just change the channel. It's just like they weren't even trying. I agree, they were all cringy. All those 80s shows were cringy. I don't know how I sat through it when I was a kid, but at the same time, you know, I was a kid. I was a kid. At the time, it was the best cinematography or the best kind of shows like that we had been given up to that point, really. I almost have to get myself another pencil. Yeah, I totally agree, dude. Viper was cool. I like Viper, and I can't even remember like everything that it was about or whatever. But it was fun to watch, and it was cool. It was cool. Let's see. Painted comic books were done with acrylics. Yeah, I think mostly painted comic books were done with acrylics. My favorite painted comic books for myself is like I like Beasley's work. You know, he's got this multimedia kind of acrylic thing going on, but it's, I don't know, like rock and roll. You know what I mean? It's like he goes against the grain. But that's what I really like about his style. Kit was supposed to be the car of the future. Kit was the car of the future. Man, Kit was awesome. I didn't watch the show because of Michael Knight. I mean, here's the thing: is like, the character of Michael Knight served his purpose because I think kids my age, like, we basically pretended that we were Michael Knight and that the car was ours. You know, it's like the whole point was having the cool car. Street was cool too. Street. You're gonna have to narrow it down for me. Street. I don't know. Street. Let's see. Ken says, agree with you about working in an 80s world only. You couldn't have a show about detectives that own a boat and a heliport and a robot. Dude, Riptide. Yeah. The helicopter was cool, but they had a robot, so I watched. Oh, Street Hawk. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I watched Street Hawk. Hell yeah. Anytime there was a motorcycle that had like weapons on it or could somehow fly, that was a hook that would keep me watching. Like what was it? Was it Megaforce? Am I thinking about the right one? Megaforce had flying motorcycles that had missile launchers and Gatling guns on them and stuff. He's referring to the movie Knight Rider 2000. Yeah, Knight Rider 2000. Yes, thank you. That's where that freaking red car is from. Let's see. I think I prefer Kit's AI to what we've actually gotten. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Battlestar Galactica worked because they were able to fill in the holes from the original. Yeah, and there were so many things that were more plausible, and even little things like the lingo. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just calling your ammo, calling it ordnance, you know, instead of coming up with another sci-fi name for it. Or there's a lot of things where they put in some plausible dialogue to make it sound like it's like a lived-in military kind of situation. But the stories were cool too. It's like, I like the fact that like one of the early stories was all about like the one water tank rupturing and basically they're not going to have enough water. You know, it's like it was a huge like a very realistic problem to have if you're in the middle of space, and you got no resources, you know. Yeah, Night 2000 was that red car, that abomination. Jonathan, wait, you never watched James Bond movies? Oh, dude, we're opening up a whole new can of worms now. It's like Sir Roger Moore was the king of cringe, but I loved him at the time, dude. He was my James Bond, right? So that red car. Let's see. I know what you're talking about. That was a concept car. It's the Pontiac Banshee concept. Oh, okay, all right, cool. I hated the fact that it had small tires. There's that one scene where they had the car go into the water, and it kind of like they acted like a boat, and it was like going like 5 miles an hour. It was the slowest damn boat. Big action. Jonathan, let's see. Didn't Bond have transforming car in the '60s? Actually, he had a cool one. Remember that white car that he had that turned into a sub? Like he drove it into the water, drove it into the ocean. And then the tires folded in and it turned into a little sub. That jank was cool. I fully approve of that. That's when he was doing some cool stuff. Let's see. Kit wouldn't have given us such lovely AI boobs. Yeah, Kit was family friendly, man. You can't be. Let's see, Johnny. But we have folks like Bill and Milo Manera for that. Exactly. See, we all play a part. Or Soriyama. Yeah, Soriyama is awesome. His work actually influenced me quite a bit over the years. Rockin' Jelly Bean. Yeah, Soriyama. Yeah. Dave, what's up, Dave? Let's see. I pity the fool that didn't like 80s TV shows. I'm telling you, man. Like, how many episodes of the A-Team did we watch? I dare say all of them. And it almost had the same formula for every episode. Like you could almost time it. You could time it like a Voltron cartoon, man. Like there was when you're a certain amount of minutes in, like there's the part. Okay, here's the problem. Here's the solution. Now the A-Team is going to make a battering ram on the front of this minivan out of toothpicks and springs. The Highwayman has a helicopter and a truck. You know what? I never really watched The Highwayman. I knew about it, but I never watched it. Mighty Geek says, let's see, I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, Hannibal. The Highwayman was cool. Yeah, it looked like it was cool, right? Airwolf. Holy crap. We're having like a total 80s flashback tonight. This is good. Yeah, Airwolf was fun. You know what? I don't know if it holds up. If I think about Airwolf long enough with my adult brain, Airwolf doesn't hold up too well. But as a kid and as even if you were an adult in the 80s and you hadn't seen a show like that before, like it would have held up just fine. 80s logic trumps logic. Just the infrastructure needed to maintain Airwolf. They kept it parked out in the desert, like they were never going to find the darn thing. Like they still had to fuel it and arm it and everything. Nobody. Well, they didn't have Amazon back then, so I guess nobody knows when they're ordering stuff for the old Airwolf. Let's see. I remember the watermelon chucker from the A-Team. The watermelon chucker. Oh, you mean the thing that they made that chucked watermelons? Yes, they made lots of MacGyver-ish weapons and things on the A-Team, man. Yeah, Blue Thunder was cool. Blue Thunder was supposed to be like the serious adult version of Airwolf, right? Since Blue Thunder actually had like a theatrical element to him, so Blue Thunder actually got to have a real movie. let's see. I was a little disappointed when they turned Blue Thunder, Blue Thunder, Blue Thunder into a TV show. Yeah, it watered it down. Yeah, I think it watered it down because like it was such a like as far as the movie was concerned, I put it up there like with most of the action flicks that we used to watch back then. You know, like anytime Arnold or Sly would come out with a new action movie. You know, it was supposed to be a little bit more like serious, like we're kind of getting adult entertainment. There we go. We got a few lines in there. Blue Thunder. Did it sink under the control of the production studio? Blue Thunder. Man, we actually hit a lot of memories tonight. Holy smokes. This show can serve as a resource for the documentary about 80s entertainment. But they're good times, man. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to take some video of Kat drawing her some of her pieces too for this. Mighty Geek says, let's see, Bill, how are you going to MacGyver your way out of this? I know, man. I got 30 of these sketches. I've got no shortcut. There's no shortcut out of this. All I can do is continue going, get a food run, take a nap, and then come back for more. It is funny that the term MacGyvering ended up, like, we use it as a verb. I think that's hilarious. And we all know what it means. Let's see, Dave says he's going to distract everyone with his drawing. I'll be like, look, and I'll run away like Smoke Bomb, like, poof, I'll run away. MacGyver made Batman look lame. Yeah, you know, MacGyver did this with no prep time. Batman always needs prep time. Kevin says, let's see, I think we need a shot of Becca looking back over her shoulder from behind. We shall see. We shall see. The paper gods dictate everything. Takes me longer to draw her hair than it does to draw her whole body. Let's see. Jonathan says that I saw Malin mention a shortcut he uses. He pencils and inks something a little bit more complex than he might normally slam out for a sketch tier, then light boxes it to copy it over and over again. You know, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can. I'm not good at copying or tracing. Like my, if I try to trace something, it usually comes out looking really, really stiff. Like it just doesn't work out for me. But what I'm doing for these sketches, since I have to do like a few of them, this is one of the reasons that I'm doing this sketch with these color pencils, is because with the rendered pencil, I tend to pencil a lot faster than I would normally with a normal pencil, and I can be real sketchy. And my hand, I usually push down pretty hard on the pencil. So there, for some reason, the weight of a color pencil just agrees with me, and I'm able to just kind of like sketch. And also the fact that I can't erase, especially when I'm doing this kind of pencil, it actually kind of helps, because I just do the sketch really, really lightly. Like for somebody to sketch it first before I just go straight in with the finished line. I'll go in with like that light little sketch first, and I actually really, really like seeing the actual work underneath the that it's not necessarily a clean, super precise drawing. Like it's sort of a combination of having, doing a gesture, but also having like some nice line weights and stuff on there. So it's ends up working out better for me. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Kevin says, so that means you need a bald Bekka to save time. So I just got like over and over and over again. I used to do caricatures at theme parks out in San Diego. This is back before I started drawing comics as my job. I was working at SeaWorld. I was working at the San Diego Zoo, and they had something where they actually had a couple different body poses that were actually pre-printed. So it's like, like from the shoulders down, it was like it already had the drawing there. And so I was just drawing the head on top of the body that was already there to save time and just do it that way. And I thought that was kind of crazy too. But with these, I like the idea that each piece is unique. You know, even if I try to draw them all exactly the same, if I really try to cookie cutter it and draw them all the same, they still come out very different from each other. So, you know, I'm drawing essentially the same formula for each one, but they come out very different from each other. I'm not good at all at carbon copying myself. Mighty Geek says, but we are talking about a guy who could conquer the world with cleaning supplies. Jonathan said, well, Malin's art is stiff, so... Oh, man. Honestly, I prefer the way you do it, but I thought I would share. No, absolutely, yeah, no, I want to hear everything, for sure. Yeah. I like hearing other artists' techniques and stuff like that. I like to see how other people work and come up with their stuff. Final result comment looks great was in response to the hair you just drew. Oh, thanks, dude. Awesome, man. You, sir, get the Thunder Tank of approval. Sorry, I have a brand new Thunder Tank on my desk. I did not want to buy... What is it? Some 600... There's a company that came out with a Thunder Tank. That's, geez, I think it's like $600, something like that. It's too much. Even if I had money to burn like that, I would still not buy a $600 Thunder Tank. I think this size suits me just fine. This is perfect. It fits on my desk. It won't go anywhere. It's easy to store. Let's see. I'll do a slightly different one this time. I like listening to the canvas. I like going where the drawing wants me to go. For better or worse, because you never know. It might suck, but I think it'll be fine. And I take a different approach. If I was penciling this normally, like for myself to ink, I would be all over the page, just real sketchy, just kind of sculpting around and figuring out the shapes, right? But when I'm going in with with a color pencil like this, it's like, ah, crap. Let's say once that line is down, it's down. That's it. So I have to be. Some parts of the drawing can be nice and loose, but some parts are like, I gotta really put the line where I mean to put it, or else it's just gonna be stuck there. It's not bad. That's good. Let's see, he wants to hear everything. In the beginning, there was nothing. We're going to be like, it's like, oh, tell me everything. And it's just like, well... First, the sun cooled. First, the earth cooled. Then the dinosaurs came. Then the meteorite came, and then there was oil. Then the Arabs came. Mighty Geek. Let's see. It would be hard to create a MacGyver type character today. I think so too. I think a lot of the concepts. I think a lot of concepts from the 80s are hard. They'd be very difficult to translate to today. You know what I mean? And still have it be plausible and have that sense of action, adventure, and all that. And it's just you need a different character for different times. Or you end it with MacGruber. You end up with MacGruber, I tell you. Yeah, see, make sure I don't forget those freckles. Kevin says, loose is okay, but Bekka should be tight. And not like that. Get your mind tight of the gutter. I miss the Cold War. Yeah, drawing these lines like really loose. Make sure I get her where she's supposed to be here. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me. I'm putting a good dent in this list for tonight. So we'll do a little bit more. See how Savage Bekka comes out. Now the next Kickstarters that we do for Entity Comics, the artwork and stuff for the books are actually going to be complete. I'm going to make sure that when I do a Kickstarter myself, just catting myself like we did for this one for Parody Division. We're going to make sure that the book is complete before we even have the campaign. I'm not going to have any stress whatsoever, just in case something pops up, or we're going to make sure everything stays on track. And these are the only kind of Kickstarters I have full control over, so that's what we're going to do with our Kickstarters. There we go. And nice structure, nice little pose. Got to leave room for all that hair. She got a ton of hair. The Cold War inspired a lot of entertainment. Heck yeah, it did. Oh my gosh. How much entertainment was actually like Cold War story inspired? Let's see, the problem with the Cold War is that it promised to make the world very hot all over. Thanks to the Cold War, we got the world's first bionic man. Yeah, Steve Austin. I actually know a guy named Steve Austin. I mean, he's not the Bionic Man, but his name is Steve Austin. I think that's so cool. That's something else that I couldn't watch as an adult because the Bionic Man with all the slow-mo, it's like you don't slow-mo everything. Like it was just killing me, But when I was a kid, though, I mean, that's how got the point across that he was actually using his bionics. So yeah, I had the toy and everything, man. I had the little spaceship that would turn into his operating table, so you could like put the bionics on him. I had the whole bit. You know, that spaceship looked more like a thermos than it did a spaceship, but it's like, I loved it. It did force me to use my imagination, because it looked like a thermos. I'm pretty sure it was actually a thermos. But it was cool. It opened up, and it had like glow-in-the-dark decals and a bunch of other stuff. Like little equipment, like it was like you're freaking putting in his bionics and stuff. Lots of room for 80s big hair. Yep. No, not Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're gonna make Lee Majors mad. That is the thing about doing all the conventions over the years. I have had a chance to meet almost all. I think I can't think of an '80s television star that I haven't at least seen or been in the same room with. But I'm pretty sure I've met most of the '80s TV stars that I would really like to meet. I met Erin Gray in San Diego. She was pretty awesome. What's funny is that I actually met her. I met her after she actually wrapped up her signing. So we just hung out and talked for a bit and just took a picture together. Because I didn't stand in line to get her autograph or anything. It was like she was already done for the day. She was leaving. But she was so cool about, she saw that I came to her table, and nobody else was there. She was just packing up her stuff to leave, and she actually got somebody that was in line for something else to get an autograph from somebody else. She got somebody from somebody else's line, handed them my camera so that they could take a picture of the two of us standing there. She's the coolest in my book. I was expecting to just walk away sad. It was like, oh, I got here late. Bye. I guess I'm not going to get an autograph or a picture. And she didn't even charge me either, because she already put her stuff away. And I was like, I offered to pay her, like, whatever it is that she was charging for, pictures and whatever. But she was just like, no, it's like, that was just really nice. It's a nice memory. Let's see, Jonathan says, it is a show that could make for a cool update, especially with technology where it is now. Yeah, the $6 Million Man, having the Bionic Man, I mean, he's just like, just go full cyborg at this point. Do something, I bet you could do like a really cool updated, I mean, obviously like his backstory. Well, actually his backstory could be pretty similar, I think. Just astronaut getting into a huge accident, kind of ghost in the shell the guy a little bit, give him like a cool prosthetic body. I don't know, man. That could actually work. That can actually. I could see somebody writing a good update for that. I could see it. I could see it happening. Let's see. I met Lee Majors back in February. It's sad to see age catching up with him. Yeah, Lee Majors, and then who else was somebody that it kind of like hit me a little bit. That time. The marching hand of time continues. It was Gil Gerard, our Buck Rogers, guy. I didn't meet him the same year that I met Erin Gray. or Wilma Deering from Buck Rogers. But yeah, kind of like, people, they get older. It's like nothing wrong with it, but there's a lot wrong with it. You just don't want to see. I don't want to see anybody age. I want us all to be young forever. Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, little things like that. I got to meet Adam West quite a few times. That was kind of nice. Jonathan says Erin Gray was my first celebrity crush. Yeah, I would have to put her up there with one of my first. I mean, she's she definitely goes way back. I don't know if she was my first, but she was definitely like one of the first. Like Wilma Deering, yeah, you can't deny Wilma Deering. Kevin says, but I have to admit, I think The Fall Guy was a more fun series. It didn't take itself too seriously. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I loved him in The Fall Guy. Yeah, absolutely. Like the Bionic Man was like it was definitely like one of my favorite sci-fi-ish kind of shows. But as far as a Lee Majors show that or anything that he did, like The Fall Guy was like a very fun show. Ooh, look at us making progress. Yeah, look at that jank. All right, so Kevin says, okay, so who's the best Batman? Kevin Conroy that's an easy pick, man. That's an easy pick. But what's your favorite your favorite iteration of Batman? Because Kevin Conroy did the voice for Batman for quite a few different versions of Batman. Also, like he did the voice. I think my most like my childhood favorite Batman is Adam West, just because it was my childhood. That there's a nostalgia there. He's cringe all the way, but it's a childhood thing. And my adult favorite Batman, I'll say Michael Keaton, only because like that was the first time we got like a serious Batman, and like the soundtrack was by Prince, and it's like there was something about that production, just the way that it came out. But I think the most canon Batman, like the for me, in my opinion, like only in my opinion, the Batman that is closest to what I think a canon version of Batman should be, other than Batman the Animated Series, because the animated series did it right, like front to back, right? Kevin Conroy in the animated series was that was top shelf all the way. Was the Arkham series, the video games. The Arkham series Batman was probably like, because it felt grounded, it felt realistic, but you still had fantastical characters in it. Like Clayface was still a giant monster, and Killer Croc was still, like a giant monster. Joker was the way I think Joker is probably the best as far like as close to canon as far as like what the actual characters would be like. Yeah, it's like. Yeah. Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman, and he did the voice for the Arkham series too. That's why it's another win for me as far as like, choosing that as like the most realistically depicted canon Batman. You know what I mean? Kevin says, yeah, he nailed it. But I think Batman Begins was a movie Batman that really felt like a way to tell a Batman story. I agree. I love the Nolan movies. I would say that the video game was more canon to me than the Nolan movies, even though I love them. I love them both. It's like, Mark Hamill as the Joker. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he is the Joker. He is the Joker, hands down. Jonathan fell for Colonel Wilma Deering. Yep. But yeah, the Nolan Batman, the only thing I would hold not against the Nolan Batmans, but as far as like placing him squarely as a number one choice, is that it was almost too grounded. Like it felt like it was a James Bond story that just happened to have Bruce Wayne dressed as Batman. It was kind of like the way a nice grounded James Bond story should run in my mind. You know, he's got tons of gadgets and the cool vehicles and all the cool stuff, but nothing he was fighting was too out of this world. You know what I mean? Everything was very grounded, like it could happen in too much in real life. Let's see, Jonathan says, I have hated every live-action Batman film and film with Batman in it. I thought Ben Affleck was the best live-action Batman. I give Ben Affleck a lot of points. Like he did a really good job looking the part, and the suit that they gave him was cool. It was very Frank Miller-ish, you know, kind of, you know, big brawler. And it was the gray suit, right? I kind of wish he had the trunks, but you know, I'll take what I can get. It's fine. It looked cool. Live action Batman films around his portrayal are putrid, though. Yeah. Nothing gets it quite as right as the animated series. I mean, maybe there, you know, it's hard to translate him into live action. You know, to do it like really, really right. You know. Kevin says, I'm young enough to have fallen for any of the Baywatch babes. Yes. Mighty Geek says, Michael Richardson was a very good Joker. Yeah. Kevin Michael Richardson. I actually have to look him up now because I said yeah, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Who's Kevin Michael Richardson? See, now I got to look it up. I got to look him up now to see which portrayal of the Joker he did. I thought Heath Ledger's Joker was great. I thought it was his very own Joker. I don't think it was a canon Joker. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the canon Joker. I think Mark Hamill's Joker was the canon Joker, but I really liked Heath Ledger's take. He created his own version of the Joker, and I thought it was really good. Jonathan says we got treated too well with Batman the Animated Series. It was magic on the screen. Still holds up. Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it holds up. And I like the way that it evolved over time too. Because like, remember those first seasons came out. Not just his costume changed, but all of the characters changed and evolved and got just a little bit more mature. I really liked the way the animated series treated the whole thing. It was pretty awesome. Jared Leto is not my Joker. Definitely not my Joker. Let's see, we got a few of these here. Yeah, you know what? We actually got through a couple. You know, we're gonna do one more. But let me pop this pencil out of here first, because look at this. I got this pencil died on me. Here, let me grab something real quick. All right, I had to reach to the top shelf, so I had to take my headphones off so I don't kill myself. I've stepped away from my desk before without taking my headphones off, and I almost died. All right, so I'm gonna let me put this pencil in here real quick. So we're gonna be using this one. We'll do one more Savage Bekka for tonight. You guys actually helped me get through a nice handful of these. This is great. But I wanted to show you real quick. This is what I reached up to the top shelf for. So I got an empty bottle of Reservoir here, and this is where my pencils go to die, or to live forever, depending on how you. So there's another one. Too small for me to work with. It'll hurt my hand too much. So that's my new spot for the pencils who have given their life for the cause. Let's see. Mighty Geek says, if you've ever seen WB's The Batman, you would know who I'm talking about. Oh, you're talking about The Batman. Yes, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed that show a lot. Yeah, I enjoyed their take on all the characters. I really did. But yeah, like, and the way they even portrayed Batman, like they skewed him a little bit younger. Like even though he's, he's got Robin and he's got Batgirl and. But they kind of skewed him just a little bit younger than they normally do. But yeah, the Batman is cool. I actually bought I've got the Batmobile toy from that series just because it's like I really love the way that they did that show. I like all the designs on that show. I have no more to say. Let's see. Jonathan says, "Oh yeah, that series had character designs by Jeff Matsuda." Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I like the fact that they got him to be actually, and they stuck to his designs like really well. Like Bane's design, like when he gets thin and then when he gets like really big, and the way that their fingers are kind of squared off, and just the style of it was really really cool. Kevin says, "Look, Bill has a tip jar." Jonathan says, I thought Leto's performance was good, but the costume was the worst possible Joker design. And again, movie was putrid. Yeah, I didn't like his gangster grill on his teeth with the tattoos and sticker booked on him and stuff. It wasn't the Joker I wanted to see out of it. Especially with the way that they did Ben Affleck's Batman. I would have loved to have seen like a Joker that would match like more of a Dark Knight kind of situation too, instead of they kind of took him straight into like, I don't know, kind of a gangster hood kind of character, and it just doesn't fit him. And I think most people feel that way. They didn't want to see Joker portrayed that way. I mean, kudos to him for trying something different. All you can do is try it out and see if it works. But yeah, it didn't work out. Let's see. Mighty Geek says that show starts in Bruce Wayne's third year as Batman. Yeah, that's right. I really liked his armor too, like the bat armor that he had for that show, and the jetpacks, and it was very cool designs. It was a very cool take. I was feeling a bit screw loose, so I checked myself in. Yeah, Joker. The fact that he was barefoot everywhere, like with the straight jacket and the whole bit. That was not the way I would ever portray Joker if I was drawing the Joker, but I enjoyed what they did in the show. And he was kind of like strong, like he was he was actually kind of decent in a fight. A little bit more dangerous because he wasn't just normal strength person. We'll be having a small memorial service for the pencil that died tonight. try a slightly different pose with her this time. Mix it up a little bit. Let's see. Jonathan says, Bill, you used to be pretty on the nose with Parody Press. Is the new book like that for today's mainstream comics? I'm sort of dipping my foot back in the pool. So I would say yes, a little bit. The story, or at least my half of the book, because there's my half of the book. It's 40 pages, so it's a little bit bigger than a normal book. So I've got one half, and Cat Mouse has her own half. Her half has a very cute story with Willow, her character, and my side, Savage Bekka is my parody of like all those different Jungle Girl type characters, and it's essentially kind of following along with her landing on Earth, and Earth is a big mix-up of a lot of different characters that I like. Like we run into, like in her journey, like we run into Battlestar Galactica. Yes, I like the little scene here with the two Adamas. And then when she does land on Earth, we run into a lot of popular characters that I like to run into, like Venom and Stupid Man, and of course we've got the Dark Mess. Here we go. I'll lift him up a little bit so you can see him. Yeah, the Dark Mess. He used his powers to basically turn off the comic book, so he made everything dark. And then we got Spawn. So yeah, it's like it's kind of it's my typical the way I like to play around with characters, and I got the Splat Man. So it's the way that I like to run around, and I even got Nero X dressed up as Cammy from Street Fighter and stuff like that. So yeah, it's I don't know if it's a return to form. I think hopefully I'm getting better at what I do and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully it's an upgrade. Hopefully you'll think of it as a 2.0. So this is kind of like an introductory story. Yeah, the book's got some old classic stuff too. We had the Death of Stupid Man poster in the middle. That's from our 1993 book and stuff. We got Shin City. And the Splat Man there. So yeah, it's a return to form with that sort of stuff. I like to touch base with all the different kind of comics I like. I like to touch base with TV shows that I like. So when I do parodies, yeah, I'm always going to be, if it's something that's popular in the moment and it happens to be something I'm watching, I'll touch on it. So yeah, that's the way my parody stuff will typically run. So I'm still doing my thing, still doing the same old thing. Mighty Geek says most people forget that Joker is more brains than brawn. Yeah, that's him for sure. In fact, in the Batman cartoon is the first time I've ever seen him really be like physically dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like it's always been about the brains for him. Joker is hard to get right, so easy to get wrong. Oh, for sure. Yeah, totally agree. Lean too much in one direction or the other with him, and he's just a psychopath. Yep. I like a Joker who's actually like 5 steps ahead of everybody else. I really like him to be very thoughtful, crazy, so he doesn't give off the fact, he doesn't let in on the fact that he's smart, but he is. You know what I mean? It's like I like people to be surprised at the fact that he got the drop on them. You know, so. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Joker should be a very, very smart character. Let's see. In my mind, he's a bit like the Mask, but darker and mentally more rooted in reality. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kevin says we need more Becca in black symbiote costume. Yeah, I love drawing Venom, and I like having fun with Eddie Broccoli, as he's known in my book, so I don't get sued. Yeah, so the chances of that happening again are pretty good, actually. So we shall see. I'm a big fan of symbiote costumes. There we go. Got a nice little different pose for her. You hear my dumb alarm? It's like, yes, I know I have to go to sleep, but I'm gonna finish this first. We're gonna finish this, and then we'll call it a night. And we're getting pretty close on this one, so. That's another thing I like too about these color pencils. You can get some quick shading, little shadows, I like being able to just kind of like throw those in like quickly. That Playboy pose in Becca there. Come to me, my dear. Yeah, it's like this drawing is eating up this pencil too. Definitely. Time to sleep. Almost. Yeah, I'll give it well, we're almost done. So I would say 2 more minutes. We're almost there. We're almost heading home. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I'm doing this tonight. Like I said, it's kind of nice. I'm just sketching, there's no Kickstarters for me to promote tonight. Not having any art auctions, not selling anything, just having some fun, getting some things done. Nice to hang out with friends and like-minded people. Let's see, Jonathan says, I like watching the hair drawing, something I always struggle with to make it look decent. You make it look effortless. It's I have all kinds of problems with it too. Like in my mind, like I sort of think of it like I'm not holding a pencil. I sort of pretend I'm holding a brush and I'm actually brushing her hair, if that makes any sense, to kind of control the direction that the hair is flowing in. You know what I mean? So that's something that helps me out sometimes. Depends, but that's something that helps me out sometimes. It's a little abstract, but it does help me sometimes. And depends on the tool too. Like I'm able to press down pretty hard on these color pencils, so it's a little easier for me to get like gestures in one big stroke with these pencils, as opposed to like if I pencil it normally and I was in here with a brush or like with a ink pen. I think it would be it would look different. It would the drawing might look the same, but the technique would look different. Like I couldn't just go in there and just make it like super fast. I have to be more careful, so that way the line comes out the way that I want it to. Yeah, Chet, you got your 2-hour stream. Yeah, I like it as long as I have the energy for it. You know, if I was feeling tired, we would have cut out early. We always do at least an hour, but we kind of max out at 2 hours. You know, everybody's got things to do, and I don't take it for granted that you guys are hanging out with me. So I don't want to keep you guys from doing other things too. I appreciate you guys. Jonathan says, I think I'm picking up what you are putting down. I will try it out. All right, cool. I'm glad that made some kind of sense. I tend to ramble sometimes when I'm trying to explain things, so it's hit and miss when I actually make sense. So hopefully you got something out of that. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. I put a little signature on there, and I'll bag and board these for later. We got a nice little head start on these. Yeah, I was hoping I really want to get these done this week. That way parity division will be completely fulfilled, and everything will ship out, which will be awesome sauce. So we got a couple. I got a couple that are bagged and boarded already in the box that I can't reach, but these are the ones, plus a couple more that we did tonight. Yeah, awesome, guys. You guys are awesome, man. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys. I always do my own draw stream, my scheduled draw stream on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on my channel right here. Draw streams like this one, they're hit and miss. I'm not really sure when I do these. The ones during the week, it's just if I have the energy, I pop up, and hopefully you guys find me. And if not, I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys. This video has nothing to do with Christmas. I just like the fact that he's saying goodbye. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, Seattle.